Absolute proof the Jehovah Witness Watchtower organization is not Christian. Okay? Absolute proof. Now, the reason why I'm going to go after the Jehovah Witness thing is to show you some principles in the Bible concerning the kingdom and temples and all this stuff. How we're not part of the world, the true overcoming church, the bride of Christ. But these denominations beyond the Jehovah Witness are not doing what Jesus wants. They're not following Jesus. They don't have a relationship with Jesus. You see, they stay in the world. We're out of the world. They continue sinning. Ask them. Every one of them will tell you you do. But the true believers overcome sin, not by their own power, but by the power of the Holy Ghost manifesting in their life. That's the difference. So I'm going to pick on the Jehovah Witnesses here just a little bit. I'm going to show you something. If you go to the Jehovah Witness church and you ask one of them, oh, is that your building? Is that your church? You notice they never have windows of any kind? Oh, well, let's not go there. But you'll see it written right out on front on the marquee, the Kingdom Hall. Really? How many of them are there in the United States? How many of them are there in the world? Thousands. Every one of them's the kingdom, the kingdom, the kingdom. They're all halls of the kingdom. Well, the Jehovah Witness Church, they tell you, we're evangelistic. We go around door to door witnessing. We are the witnesses, and we go all over the world witnessing, and that's why we're the true church. And they kind of like throw that out to try to hook people to get them to come in, and then they can give them all of their occult heresies like Jesus is not the Messiah Christ. He is not God manifest in the flesh. They go against the very heart of the cross. And if you ask them, do you continue sinning? They go, we all do. Everybody does. We stay in the flesh. We're always in the flesh. And the Bible simply doesn't teach that. We crucify the flesh. We're no longer in the flesh. But they don't get all this. So let me go back to the beginning. Kingdom halls all over the world. What do they want to do? They are establishing the kingdom on earth. That's what their kingdom halls are for. The kingdom of God, which they call Jehovah. That's a title of God. That's not his name. The name of God is Jesus. Every knee will bow and every tongue will confess Jesus Christ is Lord because he is the name above all names. There you go. So, but anyhow, listen to this. They are the kingdom hall. Kingdoms everywhere. You know what it says here in Matthew 4:8? Satan took Jesus up to an exceedingly high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and all the glory in them. Isn't that something? And he owns them. This is literal. He's the God of this world. He owns the kingdoms on earth. He said, I'll give them to you, Jesus, if you'll bow down and worship me. Now, if you look at the book of Revelation, Jesus is coming back at the end of the 7 years of tribulation to establish his kingdom. He establishes his kingdom with his power. Of course, there's overcomers coming with him, but it's all done by Jesus. Jesus took the power of death and hell away from Satan, and he is exercising that power when he comes to earth and establishes his kingdom. So the Jehovah Witnesses that are going to do it are not with Jesus. They're not letting him do it and following him. They're doing it themselves. They are establishing the kingdom of God on earth right now, and they call their God Jehovah, and they don't believe Jesus is, and they are worshiping their father, the devil, because the devil owns all the kingdoms on earth. Now, if you're not of this world, you see, if you're not of this world, Jesus said, if my kingdom was of this world, my servants would fight. Well, look at politics. All they do is fight. Look at all the governments and kingdoms on earth. What do they do? They have wars all the time among each other. You go out here and you get worldly churches, they're going to fight over politics. You better vote for my side. Okay, so you are opposing the other side. You're fighting. Oh, yeah, we're fighting. And then they'll come out and tell you, well, our country, it could be Germany, it could be England, it could be all of Europe, whatever. Our country is God's country, as opposed to every other country they claim ain't. Well, how many people tell you that America is God's country? God owns the whole earth, but he's allowed Satan to control the kingdoms on earth. God's kingdom is not America, because America is doing insidious things and eradicating the method and the operation of birth. You know what I'm talking about. I've heard 100 million have died because of the laws of America. Now it's legal to be sexually a perverse person and go around and have parades and go into schools and try to convince children to join in. All of this is all on America's government's shoulders. They're not of God. They're of the devil. That's why you and I are not in this world. Now, do you know what it says in the Bible? Real simple. Your body is the what? What? Temple of God. Your body. Jesus said, my temple is not made with the hands of a man. He went into the temple at Israel and said, you turned my temple into a den of thieves? And kicked over the money changers. Well, what are they doing? Taking money in the temple. Well, did you know the Baptist Church calls many of their churches Baptist temples? There's a whole lot of churches that have the temple of what? The temple of this, the temple of that. Well, they all claim they're the temple of God. And, you know, the Catholics build all these big cathedrals and the Orthodox with gold and all of this lavish stuff and trying to present them as temples. Well, Jesus said, that ain't my temple. My temple is your body. But you're not of this world. The reason they build physical temples is because they don't have God in them. If they had God in them, their body would be the temple. Just the opposite. So you can't be of the world and be with Jesus, because Jesus is not of this world, and he said, my servants are not of this world. You have to be someone not of this world. I do not put my faith and trust in the things of this world. Okay? That's why he said, my church is a holy and peculiar people. You'll be hated by the world for my name's sake. Well, what's the world? Is the world these churches with these ivory towers and their temples and their kingdoms, the kingdom halls, the Baptist temples? How about the Crystal Cathedral out there in California? Was it Schuler? The massive building that was nothing but mirrors and glass. An enormous, massive building. Worldly people that do not have the Spirit of God are attracted to money. They go to it like a moth to a light. And anytime they see riches, they think, there's God's got to be there. And that's why the TV ministers wrap themselves in gold furniture, all the lavish riches and million-dollar Learjets and giant mansions, and the people are so stupid. They don't have Jesus. They go, this guy must really be with God, because look at all the money. And what Jesus say? When you go preach, don't ask for any money. No gold, no silver, no brass. Don't even take a purse, which is the word script. Don't ask for money. And then he warns you, the worldly church, the unbelieving church, the false Christianity will make merchandise out of you. They're wolves in sheep's clothing. They steal old widows' purses. I'm quoting all this scripture. You can go look it up. I'm not telling you the address, but I'm just one right after another. They'll heap unto themselves teachers with itching ears. Even when Jesus comes back and fights the harlot of Babylon, which made merchandise. And the candlesticks of God are there with the angels. The candlesticks are showing that this is a form of false Christianity, because the candlesticks are for the churches. And you can look at that in the beginning of the book of Revelation. So, but what I'm trying to tell you is, this is so important. You have to understand you are not of the world. I had a man come up to me the other day. Are you going to vote for Trump? I said, no. Well, why not? I said, because it's wrong. Abortion's wrong. And he says he's thrown it back to the states. They're going to let them decide, but whatever the states decide, he has to uphold the law. He says he's personally against it, except for in the beginning for certain reasons. Okay, whatever. But he stands to uphold the law of this country that abortion is legal in some states, and it can be hideously legal. And the same thing with perversion and all of those perverts and their so-called rights. He even had his wife Melania have a convention about 2 months ago at Mar-a-Lago for a deviant perversion ABCLGB gang of people that support him. They didn't put it in the news much, but it happened. You can dig it up. And so he supports them. Well, maybe he don't want them in the schools, or he'll say this or something to try to book it over. But I can't go along with him because he's not doing Christ-like. The fruit's bad. I'm going to follow Jesus. Besides, I'm not part of the world. I'm not part of that kingdom. The government is corrupt. You go ask the Democrats. You think the government's corrupt? Go, oh, yeah, we're against the Republicans. You go ask the Republicans. Is the government corrupt? Absolutely. We're against the Democrats. Then you ask the Republicans, well, are some of the Republicans corrupt? Oh, yeah. Come on. Why would I want to be part of the mess? Well, the man that came up to me and asked me if I was going to vote for Trump, he said, the answer is you vote for the lesser of two evils. I said, mister, I don't vote for evil. I don't care what degree of it. I go, Jesus, I am not part of this world. I'm not part of any kingdom on earth now, because they're all corrupt and they're all lying in wickedness. The whole world, it says in the Bible, lies in wickedness. And that's the God of this world. And I am against him because I have Christ in me. Jesus said, I'll give you power to tread on scorpions. Power over the whole enemy. That's a spiritual deal. That's where we're at. I'm not into the physical kingdoms of the world. So that's why the Jehovah Witnesses are a mess. That's why all of these organized corporate Christian churches that take money of you, they're just like the temple in Israel, a den of thieves. Let's go with Jesus. I don't want your money. Never asked for a dime. Don't need it. And Christianity is built upon the power of the Holy Ghost and being free from sin, having a wonderful life when Jesus is blessing you. They don't have a wonderful life. They live in torment and turmoil. But we can be more than conquerors, because who the Son sets free is free indeed. God bless you.